What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Apocaflix Movies. My name is Jake Berlin, and we are here to reveal our consensus Apocaflix list for the 2020 Geek movies, our most anticipated movies in the comic book geek realm for this brand new movie year. And with me today to be talking these movies is Brian Avellino and Jacob Bartley. How you guys doing, gentlemen?
Doing good. My favorite topic. Nerd.
Movies.
Comic book nerd.
I'm good, man. It's busy times. We're back from our vacation.
We had a good vacation.
Back in LA at the Schmodown. That was fun. And I'm just enjoying my last week before school starts. Things are good.
You got a couple more days left of freedom.
I'm gonna watch as many movies as possible.
Yeah, we were just talking about all the movies we definitely go see 1917 and some other stuff. So
I just realized you're kind of trying to pull off a Clark Kent thing right now.
That's what I was going for.
That's weird.
All right, so the way this worked is, as if you've seen it in our other videos, it goes consensus style, and it's based off of a point system. And what essentially we do is we take the movies, the group of movies, and we rank them. And the 10th movie gets 1 point, and the first movie gets 10 points. For this specific list, it's going to say top 10 and all the logos and everything. We have 5 honorable mentions in our top 5 because there's only about 12 movies. Dwindle it down a little bit, make it a little more competitive that way, and we have an official top 5 list. But I will read the 10 because there are just a little amount of them, not the dozens and dozens that typically come out. So anything that you guys may think happened with this list? Anything that may be higher than normal, lower than normal?
Well, it is all 5 of us, not just us 3.
All 5 of us, yes.
So people like Gio are going to throw it off.
You think?
Could. I don't know.
Jacob, any thoughts?
You tend to do some wacky stuff too that I don't agree with.
So just things that you don't agree with that are against your opinion.
Exactly.
I think Birds of Prey is going to be lower than I want it to be, which is unfortunate.
Where do you want it to be?
I want it to be in the top 5. And I think, the thing is, the movie, the idea of the movie, the title, it sounds like it's going to be a disaster. But every time I see a trailer, it looks good, and I get more and more excited.
So he texted me his geek list today, and then he texted me again and it said corrected Birds of Prey, or it said Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey.
All right,
as the title.
So I've been telling you that's what they should.
Yeah, we've talked about it. We've talked about it. Yeah.
Funniest thing, on Sunday. I was watching, I think, the playoff game, and there was a TV spot, and it said Harley Quinn and Birds of Prey.
Really?
I swear to you.
Yeah, that should have been the title.
And so I think they realized that was a marketing mistake to name it what they named it, and they're like, it's still the title, but we're just going to call it this.
Wouldn't be surprised.
General fans know it's a Harley Quinn.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Longest title in the history of movies.
Yeah, it's a long one.
Because Harley Quinn's the draw. I mean, they don't know who.
Clearly.
General audiences don't know who those other.
But she's not a Bird of Prey.
Yeah, I know. So that's the thing. So it's like,
neither is technically Huntress, right?
No, she is.
She's not a bird.
She can kind of be considered a bird, though.
Yes.
So
I know.
Black Canary's in this, right?
Who?
Black Canary's in this, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Honestly, I forgot we had this still to film. I did this before the 2
Yeah, you didn't change your
trailers
list before the last trailer.
And now I'm
Sucks to suck.
regretting it, but that's okay.
All right, well, let's get on to our number 10 movie, which is, like I mentioned, an honorable mention, and this was on 3 people's list, and it was on the highest on
start at 10.
Brian's. Actually, I will say this: 10, 9, and 8 all tie with the same exact points.
Okay.
Wow.
All tie with 12 points. But because it was on higher on one list or more on lists or than the other,
I swear
this is how it shook out. So number 10 is The King's Man.
Okay.
Nice.
The Kingsman prequel. Matthew Vaughn is directing, right? We have Ralph Fiennes and Daniel Bruhl and
Djimon Hounsou.
Djimon Hounsou is a great cast.
I think it was number 10 on my list. I gotta go back and look.
Yeah,
but I think
it was number 10 on your list. Yeah.
Nice.
So The Kingsman. Look, I think this movie looks really cool. The first trailer was awesome.
One of my favorite trailers of the whole
really,
year.
really cool stuff going on in the movie. For me, it lowered because of the pushback.
Yeah.
The release date got pushed back, and it kind of got me worried a little bit.
When did they push it back?
To September.
When was that announced?
Like a month or 2 ago.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
And what was the original release date?
February.
It was going to be the week after Birds of Prey.
Yeah, it was supposed to be my birthday.
Interesting. That could be a good thing.
Maybe, possibly. If they tweak it a little bit.
I think that's a better release date. I believe the original Kingsman came out in
February.
September or
the
October.
second one came
sure?
out in September.
Oh, okay. That's what it was. Yeah. I'm excited for this movie. Way to like bring back excitement after the second one was a disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mind the second one as much as most people did. Definitely a step down from the first one.
The first one was an anomaly, man.
It's
it was
amazing.
So good.
But the second one's okay.
Awesome.
It's not terrible in my opinion.
It just went too quirky on itself.
Yeah,
it made fun of itself too much.
Yeah, absolutely.
It did too much nonsense type
this
stuff.
I'm not saying it's going to be the same as the first one, but it has that feel of freshness and uniqueness.
It almost pulls off of like an old-timey war movie the way
that
it
first
starts.
trailer.
And that's why I'm kind of like hey.
The first trailer, when we saw it for the first time, I thought we were watching a trailer for like 1917 or something, to be honest, when we first watched it, and then it was Kingsman, which is crazy.
Yeah. Cool. All right, well, moving on to number 9. Again, tied with 12 points, but because it was on more lists, the New Mutants, another number 9 spot.
Oh, we made it.
Made the list. I think that second. I think this new trailer might have helped to bump up a little bit.
Probably.
The only list it wasn't on was yours, Jacob.
Yeah. So now that since I submitted my list, a new trailer for Morbius, Black Widow, and New Mutants came out.
And Birds of Prey.
And Birds of Prey.
Morbius.
Since I submitted my list, so I was trying to make some adjustments last minute, and honestly, I would have maybe squeezed New Mutants on there if I just didn't think about it.
Yeah.
But that last trailer is killer.
I think it looks great.
Yeah.
I think that if it stays true to what the director is saying, Josh Boone, about it being his original vision, Marvel releasing the original idea for the movie, the young cast is incredible. Like, it really is. Led by Anya Taylor-Joy, who is probably the most well-known in the cast.
Macy Williams?
All right, by movie fans,
she is Arya.
She's Game of Thrones fans, yes. That's different than movie fans. Because Anya Taylor-Joy's been in a buttload of movies. She was in Glass and Split and The Witch, and she's in the new Edgar Wright movie, and so she's definitely one of those young hot actresses. But yes, Macy Williams is very well known as well. Yeah. So, and I really do hope that it is like a horror movie. I really do.
I think it is.
I hope so, because that's the draw for me. That's kind of the thing that's really making me intrigued about it.
I don't care if it's horror. I just want a good scary type.
That's like, horror.
No, not in my mind. Horror is like slash, kill, murder, that.
You need to get away from that. You need to broaden your horizon. Horror does not mean slasher. Slasher is a
genre.
Well, then maybe I'm
genre of
like
horror, subgenre of horror. But horror is just scary movie. Basically, if you want to sum it up in the most simple way.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for this movie, which like before I wasn't, and I'm still hesitant because of all the drama.
But were you excited for it the very first time you saw the trailer?
Yeah,
the very first trailer
at the time.
Okay, so the gap
is 2017.
Yeah. So the gap is what made.
So I was excited, and then I just completely lost interest. I thought it wasn't going to come out, but that's a great trailer, so I'm excited.
So I went back and looked at our anticipation list for the past couple of years, and it was on my Geek anticipation list for 2017 and 2018.
Oh my goodness.
For both years.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Which is wild.
And 19, absolutely wild. 19, we said we're not doing any more of this nonsense.
Exactly. Okay, so moving on, number 8. Again, like I said, tied with 12 points, but because it was higher on Mr. Geo's list, we have the Ryan Reynolds-led Free Guy.
Nice.
God, that's like his number 1 movie of the year.
And so and you guys may be wondering why this is included in our Geek list. It's really just a video game movie.
Yeah.
It's the same situation when we did Ready Player One. It's a video game geeky movie. It has those elements, which is why we included it on this list.
It's very Grand Theft Auto-y. Yeah. It's like you can kind of.
It's a mixture of a lot of different stuff.
You can kind of.
It looks fun. I just haven't seen enough for it to be like.
Me too.
I'm so excited for this movie.
When we did our trailer reaction to it. I had no idea what it was about, and I love that trailer. I believe it is on my list too. Ryan Reynolds. I love Ryan Reynolds, so anything he does, I'm attracted to.
You had it at 8.
But I think it feels so original to me, and I know this isn't the first movie to like put video game reality type stuff, but I love this idea because I've always wondered like, what if these characters in these video games like have a conscience or something.
Yeah.
I even like wondered like in sports games, the people in the crowd, like if they're programmed to have a conscience. So like it's a cool idea, and I'm excited for it.
And Ryan Reynolds and Taika Waititi working together again, even though he's acting this time, not directing.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. They have that joke going around that they weren't in Green Lantern together. People keep asking that they were in talking about how they were in Green Lantern. That was the last time they were together, and they were like, we
They're
never
both
we never
pretending-
made a Green Lantern movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
they're
is
both pretending
really
like
funny.
it doesn't
Yeah,
exist.
yeah.
Well, the thing that intrigued me the most too, other than obviously the trailer, is the fact that Ryan Reynolds said that this was his favorite role he's ever played. That's a huge statement when Deadpool is your character.
Ryan Reynolds said that?
Yes. So, I mean, if he's
That's
coming out
interesting.
saying that over the success that Deadpool has brought him,
I think he's just trying to get people excited for the movie.
Probably.
I don't
No,
believe
that's
that.
He'll retract that statement once he plays Deadpool in the MCU.
yeah, that's true.
A cool cast member in this movie though is Steve from Stranger Things, the with the baseball bat.
That's
older
right.
friend.
Yeah,
he's
that's
in this
right.
movie too. So
There's some
and
good jokes in that
Jordy Cormier, who plays Ray's mother, is from a show called Killing Eve, and she's also in this movie. She's the woman in the trailer.
The one who's like with him the whole time and talking crap to him.
Yeah, and she's became famous by being known as Ray's mother from The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, nice. Yeah, she looks good in this movie.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, we're moving on to number 7.
Looks like Ray has a mother.
With 17 points, the first movie that is on all 5 of our list, and it was highest on Geo's, Venom 2. The Andy Serkis directed,
Is this
Tom Hardy
spot
starring.
7?
Spot 7.
Okay. I'm stoked for this movie. I originally had it higher, but another movie passed it.
You had it at 7.
Yeah, I originally had it higher, but another movie passed it since it released a new trailer recently. But I liked Venom, the first one. We talked about it. We did like a whole spoiler review on it. There were definitely redeeming elements. It's not I wouldn't even say it's a good movie, to be honest, but I enjoyed it. And if you have Eddie Brock and Venom, and you have that to work with, Andy Serkis directing, Woody Harrelson as Carnage, take those ingredients and then write a good script.
More Michelle Williams.
Yeah, write a good script, and so I'm stoked. I'm hoping this movie's really good.
Me too.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of those, I guess you can say, majority of people that didn't like the movie, but
No, I'm with
the redeeming element is Tom Hardy and Venom, that relationship, the Eddie Brock Venom relationship. I wanted more Michelle Williams. I thought that movie deserved more Michelle Williams. Andy Serkis definitely excites me. I like him as a director. He's a much more of a darker, hands-on, kind of gritty, grounded director. And the first one was very, very kind of out there in tone and setting, and yeah, it was very shattered as far as the tone goes, and very, very like they kind of like amped everything up to like the extreme.
And almost to me, and this is my opinion, it almost kind of felt like messy in a way. Like it was just kind of like,
I can see that.
They threw literally like everything they could find at you, like the whole kitchen sink, and by the end of it you're like, the hell just happened? Like, and I mean I was super disappointed with like the whole like end fight scene.
Oh yeah, that was bad.
It looked horrible. But like, I'm a little more confident having someone like Andy Serkis. He's not gonna put his name on crap. Like,
No, not at all.
so that's it intrigues me more. It's like you kind of have that like sour taste.
Do we know if the writers are returning? Is it the same writers?
I'll look it up when you guys talk.
I don't think Venom is that bad as you described, but I was disappointed. And one of my major complaints was the special effects. There were some parts in the movie where Venom looks really good.
Yeah.
But the other parts of it, like the guy who was fighting,
Anti-Venom was horrible.
looked horrible, and that fight looked horrible. Look, take that $900 million you made and invest it in special effects for this movie.
Need to.
Plus, you have one of the all-time greats in working with motion capture.
Yeah.
I don't think the Venom is motion capture, but regardless, it's still a man.
I think it is. I think it's like someone's moving.
Yeah, so it's still like a man operating as a creature. And so you have this experienced director. And I think that's one of the main reasons they got Andy Serkis. So just make sure, and to me, you can have a great movie, like Wonder Woman is a great movie, but there's some scenes where the special effects really bother me, and I never can let that go. So I had that with Venom, so I hope they just improve on that.
And the cool thing about Andy Serkis being involved in this is that Carnage, the character, is a serial killer.
Yeah.
And he's a dark director.
He's
like, you need someone
psycho.
specific to deal with this type of character.
Exactly.
The writers for the first movie were Jeff Pinker, Scott Rosenberg, and Kelly Marcel. Only Kelly Marcel is
That's what I
returning.
thought, yeah.
And
it's
I
not-
imagine...
Is it just her?
Just her, but I imagine
Okay.
Andy Serkis is involved.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And we don't know what elements of the script she wrote, But I'm glad it's not all three of them back again.
Exactly.
And maybe with one writer, one vision on the writing end, it'll turn out better.
Andy Serkis leading it. So.
And I guarantee you Tom Hardy's working with her too to write the
100%.
script.
Oh, probably. Yeah,
this
probably.
is his baby. He loves Venom's split personality, stuff like that. And I'm sorry, you cannot F up Carnage and Venom. Like, the fans will come after you for those two, especially if they're going off the Maximum Carnage, which is like one of the most famous Venom storylines. Like,
I think Venom is maybe the biggest surprise box office wise for a comic book movie.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't think of maybe Deadpool is a surprising because it was rated R, but Venom making almost $900 million, and I thought that movie was gonna flop.
And I know
we all did. We all did.
Yeah, and I know people are gonna say, "Well, Joker," but Joker's a psycho character that everyone loves to go see.
No, I thought Joker was gonna do well. Not $1 billion, but I thought it was gonna make a good 600 or so.
I imagine Venom 2 will probably make more because Spider-Man's involvement too. If it does happen,
if he's in the marketing at all.
I don't know if he'll be in the marketing, but if people start hearing that he's in the movie, that starts to get people out there.
Yeah. I don't mean physically Spider-Man, but if they do something similar to what other trailers have done recently, then I think people will get excited.
Totally. All right. Well, moving on to number 6, right outside of our top 5. Again, on all 5 of our list. Highest was Jacob's at number 4. Mine was at number 5. Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah.
This had 24 points.
I don't care what happened with Godzilla King of Monsters. I'm excited for this movie. It's a different director. It's Godzilla and Kong. Like, the only bigger you can get than that is Batman versus Superman, and we don't need to talk about that. But these are iconic characters, and we've had a Godzilla vs. Kong movie a long time ago, and now they have the special effects to do it right. One thing that I love about Godzilla King of the Monsters is the monsters and the fights. All the action scenes with the monsters,
the best part of the movie,
are incredible.
Yeah.
So
less humans, more
we don't need to
monsters.
worry about that. But I just
they added a stacked human cast, so that's the problem.
It's very difficult to make a compelling human story in a big giant monster story. Like, how do you do that? So I'm hoping they can.
Kong did a good job. Skull Island.
But still, like,
mind you, that cast again.
You're not
really
thinking
good.
about the human characters when you think about that movie. I'm thinking about the action scenes with Kong, which
I don't know, man.
also
I don't know. There's parts of that movie I'm thinking of Brie Larson.
Absolutely. So, it probably out of the three in this universe, it handled the human characters the best. I love that scene when Tom Hiddleston's like walking through the smoke and he has the sword
with the knife. Yeah,
so it's fun, cheesy, but that human story wasn't great either. So I don't know. Maybe just minimize the humans, like Brian's saying. But you're right. They do have
They have a great cast. It's the first time in this universe that returning cast members have returned, in Kyle Chandler and Millie Bobby Brown. They're both returning. Yeah. Don't know in capacity. Alexander Skarsgård was added as well, which is a big name.
He was one of the. They added him early when they.
And it's directed by Adam Wingard, who did the recent Blair Witch movie. And
I forget her name, but Vera Farmiga's younger sister.
Taissa Farmiga's in it too. You're right. Yeah, correct. Which is really cool. Look, I'm looking forward to it. I think you said you nailed it on the head, Jacob. The fights in King of the Monsters were epic. Yeah. The way that the monsters were used were incredible.
That fight.
I think it's fascinating. I know that everyone's like, well, why is it called Godzilla vs. Kong if it's not going to be Godzilla vs. Kong? We're 100% going to get that fight. Yeah, we're 100% going to get that fight.
We're all assuming that they're going to team up.
It's going to be a Batman v Superman situation.
But we're all assuming it.
It's going to be a Batman v Superman situation where they fight, but it's going to be bigger and better because that fight was terrible.
Yeah. And they hinted it at the end of this last movie.
But the cool thing here is that now Kong is full size. Remember in Skull Island, he was like a teenager. He's now reached the height of Godzilla, which is incredible. Imagine how big this freaking dude is.
In Skull Island, he was huge.
Yeah.
He was as big as skyscrapers in Skull Island.
He was as big as the mountains.
And John C. Reilly said he was still growing. Like, imagine how freaking big he's going to be.
And it was like, 60 years before?
Oh my God. Yeah. It was in the 70s. It was in the 70s. Which is, oh my God. That's going to be wild.
I can't freaking wait. This is tough, but who wins in the movie? Do they have a definitive winner?
Kong.
There's going to be a definitive winner. I think there will be a definitive winner.
It'll be like Hulk and Thor.
I do think that Kong will win because I think it's going to come down to, because we know now we now know that Godzilla is the king of the monsters. Like we saw the last shot of the movie was all the monsters circling him, essentially bowing to him. Kong's going to have to earn that respect from him, and I think it's going to be by defeating him. Maybe not defeating him, but like putting him on the ground and being like, dude, like, don't come at me anymore.
It's not going to be like he almost kills him. It's going to be like, you got me, you know?
Yeah. I can't wait to see a scene where the camera's following Kong's fist and it just hits Godzilla. And maybe like it's one of those scenes where like teeth flies out and it's like,
dude, I can't.
Blood. Like
that movie's
it's like a boxing movie with monsters. Like literally a boxing movie with monsters.
I understand the hesitancy because of the previous movies, but I don't care, man. I don't think anyone really
cares. Like they're like,
and they're not putting it in May like the last two. They're putting it in November, which is gonna kill. Perfect. It's going to kill.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's gonna make a lot of money in November.
Can you imagine sitting in the audience? This is an absolute IMAX movie for sure. Just like these things.
Well, I hope it's similar to when I went and saw the original Godzilla in 2014. I went and saw it in IMAX, and when Godzilla first popped up with its like hyper beam power, people stood up and started cheering. Like I want that experience in this movie.
And the first one, that was amazing.
Like I want Rocky versus Apollo monster style. Yeah. That's what I want.
And you have to have a killer score with it too.
Oh, 100%. You better get Hans Zimmer for this thing. Just kidding. That'd be amazing. All right, guys. Well, let's move on to number 5. That'll never happen. Move on to number 5. So ranking in at number 5, hitting the top 5, our official list for Apocaflix movies. It's a shame that this movie is here. And actually tied with number 4 at 29 points, we have Dune. Denis Villeneuve's Dune.
This low?
This low. And it's thanks to Gio, who didn't have it on his list, and that guy who had it at number 9.
God, I hate it.
We've talked about this before.
Here's the crazy thing. Both Keith and I had it at number 1, and it's at number 5.
I think I had it at 3.
You had it at 4.
4.
Yeah.
Can we just clip in my points last time about this? Because it's the same thing. Look, it's on my list. It's on my list. I'm excited for this movie, but I'm not the biggest Denis Villeneuve fan like Jake is. I love him. He's one of the best directors. He's top 3 directors working today, and that's high praise. That is high praise. And considering all the directors that are working right now, and I don't have any connection to Dune whatsoever. So I'm excited, but it's not going to top the movies that I have above it. You know, so
it'll be the best movie 2020
for you.
I'll say it right now.
For you,
2020 best movie, Dune. And like Blade Runner, it'll make no money. Unfortunately, freaking sucks.
I really don't think it's gonna not make money. Just because the cast is incredible.
Maybe not having a Star Wars this year because it's very
bring in audiences like that.
Yes, they do.
No,
not anymore. Not anymore.
You don't. And you can't use like Endgame as an example.
It's all about titles. It's all about movie titles these days.
I think it's just gonna look incredible with a cast that it's gonna draw people.
Hopefully.
I said
I wanted to.
When we talked about this last time, I said it can go either way. It can either bomb like 2049, or it's so amazing and great and groundbreaking and visual effects that it like wildfire and makes $1 billion. It can go either way.
I'm not gonna say it's gonna make it.
No, I'm saying like it's in the realm of possibilities for me.
Dude, this movie, I wasn't ginormous 2049, but I loved just watching things. Like you don't even have to like watch the main characters. You're like looking at stuff around you.
And it might be one of the best casts ever assembled. Like
it's incredible.
We talked about it on our overall for 2020. It's insane. Yeah. Ridiculous cast.
It's gonna be.
All right, guys. Well, let's move on to number 4. Again, hitting all 5 of our lists, and the highest it was at number 3 for Mr. Bartley. We have Birds of Prey.
Yes.
It made it this high.
Honestly,
it's on all 5 of our lists.
I thought it didn't make the list because I was like, there's no way it's in the top.
So here's the rundown. So Brian had it at number 6. I had it at 7. Gio had it at 5, and Keith had it at 5. Nice. So it was all set pretty high.
I had it at 4, right?
You had it at 3.
3, okay.
It was it was tied with Dune at 29, but because it was on all 5, it topped Dune.
Okay,
this makes sense. What number?
Number 5. Number 4.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I had it a little lower, but that last trailer had me move it up. Yeah. I said it a million times. Like I'm a
that put it at 4, not 5.
Yeah,
because it
did.
Yeah.
And so I'm a huge Harley Quinn fan. They're adding all the elements that I want to see in a Harley Quinn movie. So
you lost your mind over her skates, though.
Yes,
that's classic Harley Quinn, man.
I love that.
Yeah,
you get the hyena, and one hyena,
hammer,
whatever. We're getting it all, and I don't know why they decided to, merge a Harley Quinn movie with the Birds of Prey movie. I don't know where that idea
she
came
needed
from.
companions for her solo movie.
And I like what they're going for.
She loves her friends.
That last trailer gave us a huge insight into what the plot is. Yeah. And they're all
plot sounds
Black
good.
Mask wants all of them dead, so they have to work together to basically survive and take him out. And I love Ewan McGregor playing a villain. Like, what?
He's gonna be phenomenal.
I am looking forward to the movie. There's elements of it I'm really nervous. I don't know the director very well. This universe with the Suicide Squad and like those type of characters hasn't worked so far with one movie. But I like it, like Jacob, not as much, but I like the Harley Quinn character. Yeah. I really, really like the character of Huntress. You mentioned Ewan McGregor. The cast is really good.
Well, you like who's playing Huntress too.
Yeah, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She's one of my favorite actresses, and I think she's really, really good. And so there's elements that I really like. I'm crossing my fingers that they're not trying to go too like
wacky, wild.
Yeah, and it doesn't take over the movie. That's what worries me a little bit.
Trust me, I'm worried too. It can totally be another Suicide Squad. It totally could.
I don't think it is going to be. I think it's gonna. So I think it's gonna.
It'll be better, but I hope it's not to the point where it's just like I watch it now. We're gonna forget about it. Yeah. I hope we remember it for a little while.
I hope they don't try too hard to make it like boom, boom, all these crazy things happening. Like just tell a good story and have those things in it too.
Yeah,
I can appreciate it if it's like that. If we go in knowing like we're in the crazy mind of like Harley Quinn's type stuff, but it needs to not be obsessive.
It's also because I want it to be good.
Obsessed? No. But I was like, I don't know, whatever.
I also want it to be good because Margot Robbie loves this character so much.
Well, didn't she have like a hand in like the direction?
If it wasn't for her, this movie wouldn't have been.
Exactly, yeah.
She chose the director and everything.
And it's rated R.
And she's producing it. It is rated R, right?
It is rated R.
That's awesome.
That makes a big difference.
The thing, Harley Quinn lends herself well to R rating.
Yeah, hopefully
not
it works
all
out.
Comic book characters do, but she does.
Hopefully it works out.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, moving into our top three. The podium now begins, and at number 3 with 38 points, a wide gap between 3 and 4, and the highest it was tied for Keith and Jacob, Black Widow, and Brian and myself had it at 3, and Gio had it at 7. So 38 points, Black Widow.
Gio.
We talked about the new trailer and everything on Nerd Nation, so Jacob, take the floor, man.
That new trailer is awesome. It's a mixture of new footage and old footage from the previous trailer, but I can't help but just say, oh my goodness, this looks incredible when I'm watching that trailer. It looks freaking awesome, and the action looks incredible. I don't even know how to explain it, but it just has a mixture of all these, like, it feels like a Mission Impossible movie.
Yes, that's a great way to describe
it feels like a Mission Impossible movie. Definitely a little Winter Soldier vibe. How can you not with her in it, and it's a spy movie? But I just, oh man, I if it wasn't for my number 1, because I think I have this number 2. If it wasn't for my number 1, which I'm over the moon about, this would be my number 1, and I can't wait.
I said it's like a James Bond movie. It's a Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah. That's definitely not James Bond movie.
Yeah, no. That's definitely more what I...
Yeah, because Mission Impossible is more over the top, like a lot of unrealistic action, but that's fine in a superhero film. That's totally fine. And Florence Pugh, man, she's
gonna kill it.
She is on the rise, man. Like
she really is. She's here.
She's here. She's done.
She got an Oscar nomination, which I'm curious to see Little Women, because before I saw that nomination, I didn't hear anyone saying she was going to get nominated. So, and I don't know how big of a role she has.
There were a lot of wrong choices with the Oscars this year, though.
Yeah.
So,
well, I heard some people were even trying to get her to be nominated Oscar for Midsommar.
Fighting with my family too.
That too.
A lot of people wanted her for Midsommar. She was great in Midsommar. The movie was disappointing for me, but she's on her way to becoming a superstar.
On her way. She's here.
So the only thing I want to mention about Black Widow, and I mentioned it on our reaction. Now you may know his name more, but Alexander Desplat was just announced as the composer.
Okay.
And he's done movies like The Danish Girl, which we just mentioned. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2.
Ooh.
He did The Imitation Game, Zero Dark 30, Little Women, Shape of Water, which he won an Oscar for, Argo, King's Speech, Benjamin Button, and The Grand Budapest Hotel.
Dang.
That guy is doing Black Widow.
So the score,
You said I wouldn't know who he.
the score for Shape of Water is amazing.
It won the Oscar. That's one
that
Oscar.
score is incredible, and just that resume is amazing. And
incredible.
the score for Black Widow is freaking awesome.
Hello, that first trailer where it's like, like that hooked me alone. I was like, okay.
I was always excited for a Black Widow movie. I did not think I would be this excited because the trailers are amazing.
And you do get that like Winter Soldier feel, and that was one of the best movies in the whole entire thing.
Yeah. Winter Soldier meets Mission Impossible. That's what it is.
With Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's move on to number 2. And this is a wide jump at 42 points. Again, first and second point were a margin of 1 point. Of 1 point. Number 2, this was on the first or one spot for both Gio and Brian. We have Eternals.
Dang it.
Nice.
I had a feeling it would take 2 and not 1. I can accept that. I mean,
this is your most anticipated movie, so take the floor.
we just had the synopsis drop today. Liking what I'm seeing,
Hearing,
Reading.
Looking, seeing.
What's the synopsis? I haven't heard it.
So
I can find it.
Jake will find it while you talk.
Let me find it.
While he's looking for it, it is post Endgame. And it's officially
Parts of it.
Yeah, obviously they're gonna go back.
Because I assume there's flashbacks in
Yes.
this.
Oh yeah, God.
Yeah.
These characters
Or time jumps.
These characters have been around since the creation of Earth, if you will, and like they're these characters that are derived from human myths, like the Aztecs, stuff like that.
I know you guys aren't. I mean, I don't know about you, but I know you guys aren't the biggest Lord of the Rings fans. But do you remember the first Lord of the Rings movie? How it opens with like a history. Kind of like a flash. It opens with the flashback. I think Eternals will open like that.
Yeah.
Where it gives you like this epic backstory of what's going on.
Well, it has to because
day. Yeah.
I mean, these characters have been around for thousands of years. We just haven't met them, and the events of Endgame seem to be what is bringing them to life.
So here's the synopsis. I'll read the first half because the second half is just naming the insanely ridiculous cast.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that's involved with
amazing.
it. So Marvel Studios Eternals features an exciting new team of superheroes in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, ancient aliens who have been living on Earth in secret for thousands of years. Following the events of Avengers Endgame, an unexpected tragedy forces them out of the shadows to reunite against mankind's most ancient enemy, the Deviants. That's all it is. So it's not the real synopsis. Yeah. It's a base synopsis.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically what we figured it was going to be. We didn't know if it was going to take place after Endgame at all. So that's good to know. I like that.
I'm so excited for this movie because here's what I'm excited about. This gives us another team outside of the Avengers. We've got the Avengers. We have
the Guardians.
That's what I was just about to say. We have the Guardians of the Galaxy. The Revengers. Oh, God, I love it. We've got, now you can call the Guardians the Asgardians of the Galaxy. Who knows?
There you go.
But it's now another team. Marvel has so many teams. The Secret Avengers, Dark Avengers, this, that.
X-Men.
The X-Men. This is another
Four.
team. Yeah. And from what I've been reading, I've been trying to read through. I'm going to try to read everything.
Team Cap, Team Iron Man.
Yeah, I'm going to try to read through all the Eternal stuff.
That's true.
Right up until the movie. And I already just finished that very first original. And I love it. It's so good. And I think with this cast, it's going to be amazing. I cannot wait for it. And,
I'm excited for it too.
And you're giving Black Knight too in it too, which people forget that he's even Kit Harington's even in this movie.
So I had it at number 2. Jacob, you had it at number 5, I believe. And Keith had it at number 6.
Yeah, I'm excited for this movie. I just look, it's the MCU, so they could have said, random movie B, and I'm going to be excited no matter what.
You just don't know anything.
But I'm not as invested as you are. If I was, I'd probably be just as excited as you. I don't know anything about the Eternals. I basically heard about them when they announced this movie.
Yeah, the only thing we have right now is concept art of the stuff. So.
Exactly, and I'm
cast.
I'm gonna be there opening night, and I guarantee you I'm gonna love it. So I just don't know anything yet. But if they drop a trailer and it could scoop to my number one. After
instantly, totally.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, moving on to our top spot of 2020, our most anticipated geek movie of the year, sitting with 43 points. Morbius, Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh man,
I did have a half second point.
5 second.
Wonder Woman 1984 takes the top spot by 1 point with 43 points. So Brian had it at number 2. I had it at 4. Jacob had it at number 1. Gio at 2, and Keith at 3. So it was all within the top 4 spots of our lists.
This movie, man, the score, it's actually a song that they remixed into a score. That's so incredible. I've been playing it at work, just when I'm driving. I love that song, and
the trailer got me hyped.
It works. It just works all around. The time era, Wonder Woman coming back, Steve Trevor coming back, Kristen Wiig as Cheetah, Patty Jenkins is here,
Pedro Pascal.
All these things are working so far for me, and I think it's going to be better than the first one.
I hope so. I really do. There's parts of it that are worried, mainly the Steve Trevor stuff. I hope that they can tell a good story with that. It makes sense in a way that I care about it. Mm-hmm. Not that it doesn't make sense and I don't care about it, but I want to be invested in why he's back.
And it needs to stay like the 80s.
All 80s. It's set in the 80s.
I'm talking about the music. And
I hope so.
That.
That's what I said in our reaction. I really hope so.
I'm sure it will.
I really hope so. Hans Zimmer's doing the score, so I hope it is.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
I did not know.
He did the first one, so.
Oh.
But yeah, I think that this one definitely has the potential to be one of the best movies of the year, if not just the best comic book / geek movie of the year. So.
I do hope there's a moment where the original score comes back.
It will. It 100% will.
That score is amazing.
It definitely will. It definitely will.
Yeah, I love that one. That's a good one. I loved that trailer. Just freaking riding lightning.
Yeah, what?
Okay, guys. Before I read our top 10 again, let me read through the movies that didn't make the list. We have 4 of them that are included in our geek list.
We know one.
Number 14. Not sure if this one comes out this year yet or not. I know it has a release date for 2020, but Gio had it at number 10 on his list, which is Snake Eyes, the G.I. Joe spinoff.
Oh, okay.
They started. They just.
And so 13, sitting at number 8 on Keith's list was Bloodshot, the Vin Diesel movie. Gio also had this at number 8 on his list, Sonic the Hedgehog, and number 11. With 10 points, and it was on 3 of our list, which is Morbius, the Jared Leto movie.
Morbius was already on my list, but after that trailer, it moved up. It actually moved past Venom 2 for me.
Yeah, you had it at number 6.
Yeah, I'm
for the year
for geek movies. Yeah.
Wow.
We'll talk about it a little bit. I mean,
that trailer. I did kind of like the Eternals. I don't really know anything about Morbius. I mean, a little bit more than I knew about him.
You like scary horror?
Well, that too, but. That trailer was not what I was expecting. Mm-hmm. That is a legit trailer in my opinion, and we had no idea that it was going to possibly directly connect to the Spider-Man in the MCU.
Yeah,
I mean Michael Keaton is playing Vulture in this movie. It's not a secret. That's
appearing maybe.
Yeah. Well, it's probably a cameo. But that is just so cool because Venom didn't have any direct connections to it at all. We don't know if that Venom is existing in it. We assume it's going to happen, but we don't know. This is telling you it's connected somehow. So I love that.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's run through the top 10. The 5 honorable mentions with the top 5. We have number 10, The Kingsman. Number 9, The New Mutants. 8, Free Guy. 7, Venom 2. 6, Godzilla vs. Kong. 5, Dune. 4, Birds of Prey and the Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. 3, Black Widow. 2, Eternals. And number 1, Wonder Woman 1984.
Actually, I was kind of surprised Eternals beat Black Widow. With you guys, you not really knowing about it.
That's all thanks to Gio. Gio also had it number 1. So I'm
he's excited for that movie.
Yeah, he is.
He had it high on his regular list too.
He did.
He's like me. He cannot wait for this cast.
Oh. All right, guys. Well, there it is. Our run through of the geek movies of 2020. Our most anticipated list of 2020. Any thoughts on the list before we get out of here? Solid list.
Pretty standard.
Kind of what I expected. A little changes
where
here and there,
everyone's
but
at.
kind of bummed that Dune didn't make it higher.
And I'm not getting involved in the Marvel versus DC war at all. I love the characters and the source material both equally, but it's nice to see a DC movie at number one. Because every year it's a Marvel movie, so it's nice to see a DC movie.
And it's the year of the
or a Star Wars
women
movie.
superheroes taking the lead too.
So I was telling somebody that my top three are Wonder Woman, Black Widow, and Birds of Prey.
Yep.
It's all
the year
all
of
three
the women
women-led
superheroes,
films,
which
which is
top 5.
I didn't even think about that until my list was done, and that's awesome.
And if you want to even add a little bit too, it's Salma Hayek's supposed to be the leader of the Eternals,
and her and Angelina Jolie are going to be two of the biggest characters in that movie. So
it's going to be an awesome year.
That's pretty great. Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, there it is. Our most anticipated geek movies of 2020. Make sure you guys let us know in the comments what you think of our list and give us your list as well. Comment. You can see them in the posters above of what is involved in this geek mention here. We have 14 movies. If there's something that you guys would rather have on the list or something that's on yours, let us know. We'd love to hear from you guys. Make sure you guys follow us on not just YouTube, but all audio podcast platforms, Apple, Anchor, Spotify, Google. We are up on there. You guys can listen to us on the go if that helps you guys out a little bit more. That is Brian. That is Jacob. I am Jake. This is for Apocaflix Movies. We thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you guys next time.
Hey everyone, Jacob Bartley here. Thanks for watching. If you want to check out something similar from Apocaflix Movies, click this video up here. You want something a little bit different? Check out this video down here. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to Apocaflix Movies and let us know your thoughts in the comments section. We always love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.